Well, Mr. Bhutto, yes, as you said, he came on yesterday afternoon, which was what, Monday afternoon, and he right after his arrival he went to a U.S. Think tank, the Heritage Foundation, which is a Republican right-leaning think tank, and there he spoke for, I heard, more than an hour, but that was like not open to the media, or at least not to the Pakistani media, but I heard there's some U.S. journalists were invited to that meeting. And after that, he met several U.S. lawmakers. He also attended a dinner hosted by the ambassador for the Pakistani American community. The media, again, was not invited to that dinner either. I don't know why. This time the embassy is keeping the media out for whatever the reasons, we don't know, and that naturally is leading people to all sorts of speculations. People say that that the foreign minister is here to seek U.S. support for the present government, which may be one of the things that he discusses here in Washington, but that obviously should not and is not the thrust of his meeting or the main purpose of his visit to Washington. I think he is here for talks on UN-Pakistan relations, for talks on U.S. support for the Pakistani economy, for talks on U.S. on the troubles that Pakistan is having on its border with Afghanistan, particularly with the TTP, and also for talks on India-Pakistan relations, particularly after what happened in the United Nations last week, this war of words between the foreign minister and his Indian counterpart is Jai Shankar. So that has been noted and responded to in Washington as well. This has been, I think, his third or fourth visit as foreign minister, and he has succeeded impressing the audience here. I mean, people who listen to him, people who attend his meeting, go back with a positive impression. During his first visit, when he was asked a question about Imran Khan's visit to Moscow, he instead of attacking him, the former prime minister, he defended him, saying that he visited Moscow as the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and it was a collective decision of the Pakistani government, and therefore he will support that visit. And then again, on issues like Afghanistan, on issues like Kashmir, he has echoed Pakistan's sentiments, Pakistan policies very effectively. So I think he has shown that he has the abilities to become a successful foreign minister, and that has been noted and appreciated by all sorts of people in Washington as well. The thing is, there was a seminar about 2 or 3 weeks ago in Washington where the same question about Pakistan foreign policy was asked, and one of the participants, Lisa Curtis, who is a former director of India-Pakistan South Asian affairs at the White House, she was in the Trump White House, and she said that most of the issues that concern us, like the situation in Afghanistan, like the situation of the border, India-Pakistan relations, all those issues are the military's domain in Pakistan. This was actually before the new army chief was actually just days before the new army chief was chosen, and she said that that's why the selection of a new army chief is more important for the United States than other developments in Pakistan, because it is the army chief who has a decisive role in all these matters. So the United States the U.S. military and U.S. administration have always had cordial relations or good relations with the Pakistani establishment, and they would like to maintain those relations. So I think that perception, if Mr. Bhutto Zardari wants to be seen here as an independent foreign minister who is able to formulate the foreign policy of his country, he will have to undo that perception in Pakistan that all key decisions are taken by the army. As long as that perception is there, any civilian foreign minister, whether Bilawal or somebody else, will be seen as less important than, say, the army chief on foreign policy matters as well. He is seen as a young, educated, and a person with a lot of abilities. Somebody who can be a good foreign minister, and if he is allowed to develop the way he is developing, one day he could also make a good prime minister. People do actually, not quite often, but they do talk about the chances of him becoming the Pakistani prime minister one day, and they do see it as a positive development. People do say that he not now, but say in 5 years or so, once he has learned the ropes, once he has gone through the process, he can be a good prime minister. So this role of a foreign minister here is seen as a training period for Bilawal Bhutto Zardari to one day lead his country as the prime minister. Well, this was expected. You see, the entire international community is fed up with the Taliban. They were against them even while they were in opposition force fighting against the previous Afghan government. And actually it was Pakistan which was supporting the Taliban fighters, or that is what it is. That is how it is seen in the West. I'm not making sort of any comment either this way or that way, because I'm sitting here and these things are happening in the region. But in Washington, Pakistan was seen as the country that enabled the Taliban to defeat the previous Afghan government and its forces and take over Kabul. So after that, when relations between Pakistan and the Taliban-led Kabul government strained, US officials as well as think tank experts and media pointed out that we had always warned Pakistan not to go there, that the Taliban cannot be trusted, and see what's happening now. And now I think Washington has accepted the fact that Pakistan's relations with the Taliban have strained, that they have not only accepted that fact, but they also are willing to help Pakistan defend itself against any terrorist attacks from Afghanistan. So when the Americans say that they do not want the Afghan territory to be used against any country, they obviously mean any country, and that includes Pakistan as well. But besides Pakistan, it also includes India. It also, Americans have also said that the Afghan soil should not be used for planning under the 9/11 type of strike on any country. But on this issue, they will strongly support Pakistan, not just the United States, but other members of the international community as well, as we saw in the Secretary General's statement, who urged the Taliban to ensure that Afghan territory is not used against Pakistan, and something that Ned Price of the State Department also said 2 days ago. And he not only said that, but he also offered Pakistan to help fight the TTP and other militants that come from Afghanistan. So I think there is sympathy for Pakistan in Washington on this issue. If Pakistan decides to take on the TTP and other forces as it seems, then it will get a lot of support from Washington.